But this is also why it's such a burnout job, because you've got the press banging on you on one hand to get me more, get me everything, don't tell me you don't know the answer, go get it. You have other times where you're just not going to. And especially after 9/11, a lot of it was security related. I was asked on live briefings that were covered by Al Jazeera whether or not the United States had moved special forces onto the ground in Afghanistan before the first bullet was fired. Am I going to answer that question? Yes, we have. We pre-deployed our troops.
But Al Jazeera wasn't the only one. You had plenty of American media doing
All right, let
too.
me give you another example then. In American media, there was a report that we had captured a bad guy, rolled up one of the terrorists that we've been looking for. And press secretaries regularly are come to confirm things on background, so reporters write the truth, that they write something accurate. So reporters came into my office and they said, is it true that we've captured this guy named al-Libi in Yemen? And I said, I'm sorry, I just can't help you on that. They said, well, wait a minute, it's been reported in one outlet. I'm not asking for your name on the story, just tell me yes or no so we know whether we can write it or not. I said, I'm sorry, I just can't help you. And reporters get really angry at you. Why won't you, press secretary's job is to help. Why can't you just steer me straight or wrong? And the reason, and I couldn't even explain it at the time, I can say it now, is that when we did capture her bad guy, we didn't want anybody to know because we wanted his cell phone to ring again. We wanted his satellite phone to ring again. We wanted him to get another email so we could chase it back up the line and hopefully arrest others. If I had acknowledged anything about al-Libi, the line could have gotten cold, the trail could get cold. So this is where you're doing what you think is right to represent your boss, but the press never thinks it's right.
Well,
this is the catch.
I'll give you an example of something, though, that was a mistake that I made, that it wasn't necessarily substantive. It was tone. And as we all know, there's a lot of pressures on the press secretary, but there's a lot of pressures on everybody. And I remember one time in particular embarrassing a reporter for asking a question that had already been asked. It was a question that was kind of, they were behind by about 4 or 5 hours with the news. And I embarrassed them on national television, and it was really unfair. And the easiest thing to do when you're the press secretary is to be sarcastic and to try to be funny. And the most important thing you can do, I think, is to swallow that and save the funny moments with your deputies and when you're back up in your office, and to just give the American people and the reporters in the room the information that they're seeking. I still think about that moment. I did call and apologize to the reporter, but it doesn't take back the fact that I did it.
But Ari